Ford is facing a major crisis as its stock hits a one-year low, dropping to 789 earlier today. The turmoil stems from revelations by a former employee who exposed a long-running internal scam. For years, Ford approved trucks that engineers repeatedly flagged as unsafe. Emails were altered, reports erased, and failures ignored. This wasn't accidental, it was a deliberate strategy. The fallout extends beyond dealerships, affecting resale values, safety ratings, and consumer trust. Who ordered the cover-up? Why were so many warnings ignored? How many families were unknowingly put at risk? The whistleblower, a mid-level engineering lead with over a decade in Ford's truck division, stepped forward with explosive allegations. He claims Ford knowingly produced defective trucks, vehicles that failed stress tests, had electrical faults, and raised alarms among engineers who begged management to halt production. Managers allegedly rewrote safety reports, adjusted inspection logs, and instructed teams to manipulate findings to protect quarterly revenue. When the whistleblower refused to approve a batch of F-Series trucks with structural flaws, he was removed from the project and threatened with reassignment. He described a corporate culture where honesty was treated as a threat, and engineers were expected to stay silent or be replaced. Trucks just needed to survive long enough, he said. Fixes could come later. Profits couldn't wait. His revelation shattered Ford's reputation. The brand known for toughness now appeared to be built on concealment, sudden power loss, steering failures, or complete shutdowns under heavy load. Engineers repeatedly flagged the issue, but management repeatedly buried it. Internal documents allegedly show executives overriding safety teams to avoid costly delays, while some emails instructed staff to label malfunction data as non-critical or remove failure tables entirely. Many employees lost their positions after raising concerns. Because production continued unchecked, defective trucks reached customers who believed they were buying reliable vehicles. When failures emerged, vehicles losing power while towing or dashboards going dark at highway speeds, Ford initially denied any pattern. But after the whistleblower released internal files, the truth came out. The defects were real, and the cover-up was extensive. The scandal triggered massive recalls, exposing what Ford had tried to hide: systemic issues, not just isolated faults. Nearly 400,000 vehicles were recalled, including hybrid Escapes with overheating batteries, Nautilus models with failing sensors, diesel trucks with fuel pump risks, and F-Series trucks with electrical problems. Dealerships, well, they were thrown into chaos with shipments pulled before even hitting the sales floor. Customers walked in eager to buy and, honestly, left terrified. Some lots resembled storage yards for broken promises, with unsellable trucks just waiting for parts Ford simply could not supply. Consumers began seeing Ford as unstable. The media called it a crisis of confidence, analysts labeled it a slow-motion collapse, and Wall Street saw the company's value plummet. Investors dumped shares at unprecedented rates, and analysts criticized leadership for letting a safety crisis evolve into a structural failure. Institutional investors lost trust in Ford's internal reporting, leading to rapid sell-offs. Pension funds reduced exposure, hedge funds exited, and analysts labeled Ford unpredictable, opaque, and high risk. Ford's downfall became less about individual defects and more about a culture that sacrificed honesty, safety, and transparency. Regulators soon launched investigations that further threatened the company's survival. Inside Ford, production momentum was prioritized over engineering integrity. Engineers who flagged inconsistencies were sidelined, reports were rewritten or buried, and directives to stay focused became a euphemism for silence. Small issues grew into systemic failures, and by the time the whistleblower spoke out, the damage was too widespread to contain. Financial consequences followed. Warranty costs skyrocketed, consuming funds that should have gone into innovation or repairs. Warranty expenses more than doubled compared to historical norms, reaching unprecedented levels after 2022. In the second quarter 2024 alone, warranty charges spiked $800 million, with total costs between $1.5 and $2 billion, rattling investors and highlighting internal mismanagement. Suppressed defects became liabilities, and unaddressed test results turned into claims Ford could not escape. Analysts noted that warranty accruals outpaced cash outflows, signaling worsening underlying issues. Attempts to reassure shareholders failed. The crisis was not temporary, but a product of years of ignored warnings and pressure to keep defective trucks in production. Meanwhile, Ford's electric vehicle division, which was supposed to represent the company's future, struggled. Competitors launched multiple electric models, while Ford offered a sparse lineup that failed to excite buyers. The Mustang electric SUV performed well, but nearly every other EV underperformed. F-150 Lightning sales dropped sharply, with year-over-year declines in the double digits. In 2024, Ford's electric and software division lost over $5 billion, compounding the previous year's losses. Instead of building momentum, Ford's EV strategy became a symbol of delay, indecision, and mismanagement, while competitors like General Motors and Tesla